And welcome back, everybody, to Pop Goes the Zebra. Jeremy the Rap, Jesse the Rap. Jesse, how you doing?
Tired.
Tired? Why are you tired? You look like you're out in the sunshine. You look like you got a hoodie on, and you look like you got stripes on underneath your hoodie. What the hell's going on?
Yeah,
Buddy.
I kind of picked up a last minute double show booking today. I got off work, saw that there was a show happening, and I had some friends on it. And it's an hour from the town that I'm supposed to be in tomorrow. Why not come down? And so now I'm down here in Florence, Alabama. I think I'm somewhere in Alabama. I'm at a bar show, which is fun. Place called the Brass. It's called the Brass Monkey, which is fantastic.
Yeah, chunky, that funky monkey.
Dude, I've been singing that since I got here because I'm just like, I love it. I absolutely fucking love it. No, I have not had the drink ski yet because we have a show to do in just a couple hours. Yeah, so got to be professional. Got to stay mostly sober.
You got to set the standard. There's too many referees out here running around not setting the standard, getting in the ring thinking I don't know that they're, well, you know.
Well, you know.
But anyway.
So I am currently taking a little siesta from all the shenanigans that's going on.
The shenanigans, the hootenannies.
We're gonna as you like to say, we're gonna chew the fat for a bit.
I do love fat,
which
is why I am fat, because I love fat.
See, that's kind of what I'm thinking is I got to get something to eat, and I'm thinking about just a steak with some fat.
You want some Chipotle?
Ooh, I don't know.
You want a bowl? You want a Chipotle bowl?
Well, I got to figure out. So this is the fun part of it, about going to a town that you've never been to before, is you don't know where a damn thing is. I drove in trying to find this place, and I think I saw several pretty solid restaurants. So I know once we're done with this, I'm gonna go grab me a quick bite, don the stripes again, get in there, do the thing, and then prepare for tomorrow. Outdoor show tomorrow in comfortable weather. By the way, like, this is gonna be my favorite time of year because it's hoodie weather. I'm so excited for hoodie weather. I love it.
You say
you're all frustrated over there.
You say hoodie weather. I say soup weather. We're of the same mind. We're just taking two entirely separate paths to get to the same endpoint.
I can wholeheartedly get behind soup weather. You know what is also fantastic? Chili weather.
Well, they're the one and the same.
Just chili. God, I'm absolutely. And now I look over and I see a bunch of the wrestlers coming back, and they all have food.
Well, you need to roll up to one of them, tell them stick their head in and cameo on Pop Goes the Zebra, and then ask them piggies where the trough is. You know?
Hell no, I'm not putting any of those assholes over. Fuck them.
What?
Maybe O'Shea if he was to pop his head in here, but he's doing a seminar, so I'm not giving him any free publicity now. This is a zebra thing. Fuck them.
I do not concur. I have nothing but love for our spandex sporting brethren.
No, it's they're a lot of the New South crew that I deal with, so like, you know, they're all good kids. I love messing with them. They're good kids. But they all went to McDonald's, and I'm like,
I can't do that. No, sir.
No.
My God.
Like, and a couple of them are like the flippy boys. So I'm like, man, y'all gonna go out there and like get the flippy shits.
Oh, like, God, they're gonna come down and do that 450. Literally.
Just the Hershey squirts everywhere. It's a vinyl canvas, so it'll just like squeegee off.
Oh, so, God.
It's so brutal. I hate vinyl canvases because I can't slide. It's hard to like vinyl some of the guys
sucks.
It's the worst. And then if it gets wet, then it's like a fucking skating rink. And the ropes are okay, but the problem is only one side has turnbuckles. The rest of them, they're held on with chains.
Huh.
Yep.
There you
That's what I'm dealing with tonight. Which,
by God.
by God, it's it's a fun show. We're hoping for a better crowd. Matinee, something I've noticed is like daytime shows, matinee shows, they don't always draw well, but
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that the 6 p.m. show, the evening show,
Especially
the proper witching hour show shall do really well.
I don't know. I think more often than not, when you're talking about day shows themselves can draw, but if you've got that secondary show to follow where people got to spend double money, that's where you run into problem. If you're just doing one show and you're like, you know what, I'm going to run this show at 3 p.m. at the local auxiliary gym in any town, USA, you'll draw. But if you're going to try to do, I'm going to run the local auxiliary gym at 1 p.m. and then at 7 p.m. do another show at Anytown USA's auxiliary gym, you're going to run into trouble.
You're pretty spot on. We did the first show at 1, and then we're doing the second show at 6.
Yeah, especially this time of year. By God, there's football.
And we had
on
8
TV.
matches on the first show.
Yeah, you got football on TV. You got baseball finishing up. Hockey's getting ready to kick off. You start screwing around with people's weekends, man. Especially when you start jerking them around like that, give them the yo-yo treatment. You're gonna have a bad time. Pardon me, I need more drink.
Well, see, here's the thing. I am in Alabama. So obviously I am right smack dab in Crimson Tide territory. So obviously people are watching football.
Roll over Tide.
I doubt Alabama's playing this late, but I give no fucks about Crimson Tide. So by God,
roll over.
I know we got a couple of our zebra friends that are huge Ohio fans.
Oh well, no, not middle finger to that. I was middle finger at any of our friends that are Tide fans. First off, why? Who hurt you?
We're not going to get into one of those college football discussions. I think that could just start.
Oh no, I'm wholeheartedly coming out as anti Alabama. In fact, I describe my college fanship as I don't care as long as Alabama and Duke loses. So if you are watching this and you are fans of either of those franchises in football and basketball,
somebody was
right there, buddy.
Was it Tennessee?
Jesse, we're having a little trouble with you here on the connectivity. I'm going to pause this real quick, see if we can establish a little better connection. 2. All right, after a brief little communications breakdown, we're back. So Jesse, you're down there in Alabama. You said you got another show tomorrow. Who are you working for?
I'll be back with the home promotion, New South, tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. We're doing an outdoor show. It's projected to be sunny and beautiful and comfortable weather.
Oh, wrong Sunday.
Yeah.
Check her out on OnlyFans right now. Hey man, I'm just saying money's money. You know, the world's weird right now. Times are tough. I mean,
I could think of more creative ways to spend $20 or $10 or whatever fucking OnlyFans.
I was gonna say, you know how much she's charging? Well, hold on. I think we got ourselves a story here. Time out.
Oh no, it's I'm not surprised that she's doing OnlyFans. You got to kind of feel bad for somebody at that point.
Well, hold on. Let's hit the brakes here. I am not going to look down on somebody who enters into the sex work field. It is, in my opinion, it is a legitimate line of work. It's one of the oldest lines of work in existence. I think, in fact, it was the first line of work in existence.
No, that's not what I'm getting. That's not what I'm getting.
I know what you mean, but I feel like we should probably kind of
word
that. sex work is not a bad thing, but as far as Sunny goes, maybe she doesn't have a ton of routes to make money at this present time. So like you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and that's like I said. What I mean is, it's not putting down sex workers, because I know many sex workers personally. They're friends of mine. They're making far more money than I am with very little work, which makes me go, I really made poor life choices.
I was gonna say, it's why the good Lord above saw fit to make me a man, because he knew for a fact if he made me a woman, I would have never had a 9-to-5 once in my life.
Working 9 to 5. Yeah, no Dolly Parton singing for
flat
you.
Out. Something like OnlyFans made itself available to me. Oh, you betcha.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah, betcha.
So I'm watching like the myriad of wrestlers walking back and forth, just seeing like who's. Yeah, whatever. I say
book
words.
You uncultured fuck. God.
Fuck you. Fuck you, buddy.
It must be a Southern thing.
Okay, you should know better. I do not adhere. Yeah.
Some of the best English majors come from the South. I know. I'm making a poor joke.
No, but like I said, I'm watching the various wrestlers walking by, seeing who's got food. If they've got like something that looks slightly interesting, I'm gonna be like, oh, where'd you get that at? Where's that at? So far, I've not seen anything. Chip Day and Angela Slane, they're in the car beside me. I think they said they're gonna go get something to eat.
Yeah.
They told me before we did all this that they were gonna get something to eat, but I don't know where they're going. Like I said, I saw some of the New South kids had McDonald's, which, don't get me wrong, like Golden Arches are great.
I'm always down for some nuggies.
Oh yeah, you gotta have the McNuggets.
Jesus Christ! Can I just jump in real quick? I've got the 24/7 thing going on my Fire Stick. How the fuck is Bam Bam Bigelow not in the Hall of Fame? Because it's him and LT right now. I'm just sitting here watching.
Oh my God, the
Bam Bam. 10. How the 11? How the 11. Hell is he not in the Hall of Fame?
I don't fucking know. Like, that's kind of man, that's a really good fucking point.
That's not even his best fucking match by a country mile. You got to figure he's in there with a guy greener than goose turds, and he's main eventing WrestleMania. Well, like how that is a miss that he wasn't more prominently featured, in my opinion. I hate to derail what you were saying, but I'm sitting here watching Bam Bam.
Yeah, no. That's
working
that's
in a way a man his size should not be able to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he was one of the most gifted big guys in pro wrestling to do what he did, and just like nobody gives him. Okay,
ECW gave him a good run, but outside of that,
ECW, God, the matches that he had with Taz was two completely different styles, and they made it work every time.
Oh yeah.
It just, but you really have to look at some of the people that are not in the WWE Hall of Fame, and either they're not in for maybe not
political reasons,
or
be it
other
real world
reasons.
or company.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, do we really need?
Yeah.
Do we really need to say, oh, because they're not in the Hall of Fame, they're not held in high regard? No, the Hall of Fame doesn't mean shit to me. Like, it does not mean a damn thing. In my mind, you have all these amazing talent that the whole thing with the Hall of Fame, oh, you get a plaque and you get a cool little ring and you get recognition with the World Wrestling Entertainment.
That last one's the most important part, just the global recognition. Bam Bam does not get enough recognition.
You would think his stuff from Japan would get some recognition too.
I think in time it will, but like as it sits right now in September of 2021, it's a travesty, a daggum travesty that Bam Bam Bigelow does not get talked about more often.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I have to just continue to go back. Like, man, going back and watching what he does for somebody of his size, and just like you're watching the LT match, like he is carrying a non-wrestler and they're main eventing WrestleMania, and they had a entertaining match.
Let me pull that curtain back a little bit. You know who the referee was in that match, though?
That would be Mr. Pat Patterson, who was
Mr.
the agent.
Pat Patterson. Gee, I wonder why he was in there.
Because he would be the agent. He's the one that laid everything out. So that way
he's got that hat of experience, baby.
Oh, the crowd, they go banana.
But yeah, man, Bam Bam Bigelow. No, that might be a topic of discussion for another time, but by God, what a talent.
Oh, yeah. See, I feel like we should start picking some of these cool categories like
well, now I'm seeing Bret Hart, which by the way, he will be at Warrior Wrestling in October for our Sweet 16.
I'm jealous.
Fight.
I'm jealous. I wish I could be up there for that. I would
He's
love
the best there is. He's the best there was. He's the best there ever will be. And his brother Owen, he's pretty good too. I see he's getting himself a deal. Gonna be a part of AEW. Damn,
I should have kicked your leg out from your leg.
That's why I kicked your leg out from your leg. Greatest promo of all time.
I love Owen. God, man. Somebody,
God bless
a wrestler on Twitter had posted it was a GIF of Liger versus Owen from Japan. And it was just like a 40-second clip. And it was the most compelling 40 seconds because I'd never seen it before. And it was Owen Hart just being Owen Hart. My God, if he had done the stuff stateside that he did in Japan, God, that is something that continues to sadden me so much is that Owen Hart is not around.
Well, because he's about to be around again for the 2020s generation. The Owen Hart Foundation signed the deal with AEW the other day. He's going to be in video games. They're going to have a tournament, a tournament about him, which I'm happy that he's going to be talked about in modern wrestling because, in my opinion, Owen Hart is probably the greatest wrestler to never hold a world title in a major company,
bar none.
I will imagine some of the wrestling matches he could have had if they'd have gone that route with him.
Not only that, if he had literally, if he had made it to 2000, 2001, he would have had matches with Benoit, Angle.
Oh, he had a match with Angle. His tryout match was Angle.
But that's the thing.
It was man at that point.
No. Think about Kurt Angle really hitting his stride in 2000, 2001. You would have had Owen Hart in his full prime at that point with Kurt Angle. Holy Jesus, the wrestling match.
Just insane. I don't want to call it a missed opportunity because, his career, even if you don't play the what if game, his career was chef's kiss anyway. But just by God, just the amount of talent there that is going to get shown to a whole new, it's sad to say there's a whole generation of wrestling fan that has never heard the name Owen Hart until the other night.
And now I'm very excited that these people are going to see, who's this guy
if they'd heard the name Owen Hart, it was for a completely different context.
Yeah, and now it's like, let's see what this guy was all about. Wow. They'll just pretty much be, their minds will go. And it was not just his in-ring ability to do the flashy moves. He had nuances.
There were little nuances. Why?
Where he put them, or the reason behind.
Speaking of which, here comes Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith coming out here for a match.
Oh man. But it's like the little things that he would do maybe in between moves, like the way he would accentuate a hold or the way that he would position his body so the referee didn't see some. There were just little things that Owen was so good about that you never noticed on the first viewing, but then you go back and watch it 2 or 3 times, you're like, oh, look at that little thing that he did. And anytime I've watched like Bret Hart matches or Owen Hart matches, I'm always finding little bits. It's like, oh wow, I never noticed that before. That's such a cool little detail that he did. Like the match with Bret and Owen, where Owen gets the better of Bret, and it's just the foot rake on Bret, and Bret, it's not one of those like, oh, I'm gonna sell. He's like, oh no, don't you do that. It's little bits that just make everything so much better. And those two just knew how to put a story together, and just, oh man, missed opportunities for sure. But you know, I could fantasy book all day long thinking of like the people from 2000, probably 2000 to 2005. Like imagine imagine this, Owen Hart's like in his tenure, and he gets to work somebody like Brock Lesnar.
Or, and it maybe not as exciting because it had already happened, but I'm going to throw a little caveat in there. Owen Hart versus Shawn Michaels after the career reset, when he became a completely different performer and wrestler. In my opinion, he became a smarter worker because he had limitations to work around.
Yep.
And he had a different mindset to boot. Could you imagine if those two could?
Which Mania was Shawn and Kurt?
20.
No, it wasn't 20. It was
21. I'm sorry. 21. I'm sorry. 21 in LA.
Yep. Okay. Because I was going to say 20 was the
20 was
Shawn
New York.
Hunter. Yeah.
Shawn Hunter. Because Shawn Hunter and name redacted.
Stevie Richards.
Yes.
No, again, like you had Shawn, who was somebody like was not supposed to be able to go out there and do those matches, and he turns around and has the 6-star classic with Kurt, or God, the match that Shawn had with Shelton Benjamin on Raw, where he does that musical super kick. Oh my God! Like
one of the best finishes to a televised wrestling match I've ever seen.
And you hear the excitement in Lawler and Jim Ross's voice.
That was a pay-per-view finish put on free television.
Oh yeah, and it was, you know, when I show non-wrestling friends of mine cool clips from wrestling, that is one of the clips that gets in there because it is just a thing of beauty. Oh my God, that's something else that we could talk about is Shelton Benjamin versus Owen Hart. What could we have gotten out of that? Charlie Haas.
Sheer athleticism of a young Shelton Benjamin, which he's still athletic as hell. I don't understand why he's not on my
Jesus Christ.
But he had the groundwork to fall back on, and Owen was never ever out of place working on a mat. You know, you got the ground game there, and then you know both Owen and Shelton could go anywhere with their spots. Yes, and imagine how the worker that a lot of people might have been coming out of a program with Owen Hart.
God, and you could have even had Owen. Picture Owen wrestling a series with Haas, Benjamin, and Kurt Angle, like Owen versus Team Angle. Then you somehow get it USA versus Canada. Like you get a couple of the Canadian guys. Like
you can get Christian in there. You could get probably Jericho or Benoit interchangeable.
Maybe
Edge always.
Maybe Edge at the time. It's like, man, oh my God. I just literally thought of like WrestleMania 19 could have had Owen Hart and Kurt Angle.
But here's the thing on that too, is we don't know how long Owen Hart was going to continue working had that fall not happened. He was closing in on his late 30s or 40 years old at that point. A lot of people forget.
Yeah, well, this is true, but I also feel
we don't know how long he was going to go.
He could have gone away for a couple years. This new batch of talent comes out. He gets that fire back.
Maybe
he's had a couple years to sit, let a few things heal up, gets back in the ring, and closes out his career helping some amazing. Like
Well, I mean, you could argue he was
could
doing that at the beginning of his career. Owen was always kind of in there working with guys. But like I've heard it said that, he had a set point in time in his head when he was done because he, was very frugal on the road, saved his money. Like, I don't know that he necessarily would have wanted to wrestle for a few, except for maybe a few more years.
Like I said, I mean, we can always speculate what could have been, what should have been, what would have been. But it's always fun to fantasy book, like knowing how a certain wrestler was, taking what Owen was at his point, maybe add a few more things into it. And God, I mean, we could have the wrestling landscape, I don't think would have changed any more than it did, but the mid card would have been more rounded out.
Yeah.
With Owen being in the mix. I feel like, I mean, he could have been around for the WCW invasion, and that could have been something.
That would have been fun.
Imagine that was that would broker the bridge between Brett and the WWF at the time. We could have had that. That could have been a thing. Like, there's so many. I know it's like the Marvel what if. Like,
it's
this would,
the tree
would
of
never.
What If.
This would never happen. And there's like so many branches that you can go out on, and like sometimes you're gonna swing at the low hanging fruit because you're like, oh, that'd be a cool little what if. But then you start peeling. Look at the branch, like, oh well, had he been here for this, and this was here, and all of a sudden, like, you get this. Yeah, we can do this for hours.
Allow me, Owen versus Eddie. Oh my God.
Could you imagine?
God.
Could you imagine, like, over, like, baby face-ish, heelish Owen with baby face-ish, heelish Eddie trying to one up each other?
Yeah.
Not just with the wrestling, but with like
the cheating,
the dirty tack, the cheating. Oh man, the amount of
who's got the better upper hand when it comes to cheating. Now, obviously the real world history will tell you, Eddie, but Owen was pretty creative with some of his dirty finishes too. Like, my God, allow me this that caveat there. Owen versus Eddie. It doesn't matter who's heel, it doesn't matter who's face. I say let him go and let the crowd choose.
What I could imagine is that Owen goes for one of his tricks. Eddie, I know what that trick is. I got it. Every time Eddie goes for something, Owen can't counter it because it's something new until the big payoff comes where Eddie goes to do something. He tries to pull one of Owen's tricks on him, and then Owen pulls one of Eddie's tricks on him. And then somehow Owen gets the win out of it. It's just,
I'd book it the other way. Here's how I'd book a double DQ. I'd book a double DQ because inevitably they both get caught doing something underhanded because the referee's in there too. Don't forget. Like, eventually, you almost have to protect the referee there.
Well, it's like, one of my favorite. I hate to say it as a referee because it makes us look whatever. I love Eddie spots. I love Eddie Guerrero spots as a referee. If somebody's like, all right, we want to do a ref bump, and I'm like, why? Please give me a legitimate reason. Oh, we want to do an Eddie spot. I'm in. Never mind. I'm in. Never mind. An Eddie spot. I'm cool.
His last spot, his most famous Eddie spot, is the one that's still used to this day. The referee's down. Wrestler one goes and gets the chair, smacks it on the ground, throws it to wrestler two, feigns he's been hit. Oh, my head. Referee turns around, sees dude laying out. Homeboy's got the chair. Ding, ding, ding. I love that spot. That you were talking earlier about, things I show non-wrestling fans. That's one of them, because that finish is great. It's the last memory I have of Eddie Guerrero because it was his last match that was ever televised.
not only that, and it's also putting over the referee in the situation. They had the best referee for that just on the reaction and facials, and it was Charles Robinson, who sold everything so well. It takes three to tango sometimes, and that was just masterful. I gotta find a way. Next couple shows, I'm like, hey, can we get an Eddie finish in here somewhere? I want to have a good Eddie finish. I don't think I can get one in tonight. I might be able to try to get one in tomorrow. I'll let you know how that goes.
Man, we could sit there. We could sit here.
I love. And just gush about Owen and Eddie and how what
the cameras get a little wonky again.
Connectivity?
Possibly.
Well, maybe it's the Iggy to go. That might be the Iggy to go home.
Well, yeah, but we still got one more thing we got to talk about. We still got the Schnavitz.
The Schnavitz?
The Schnavitz. You know,
let's talk about the Schnavitz.
You know that thing we're doing next month? We are, allow me, if I may. Next month, we at Pop Goes the Zebra are proud to announce that next month we are devoting an entire month to the subject of women's wrestling. We are going to be talking to women's wrestlers, women's announcers, women's referees, anything else we can come up with. We're not going to say who we're talking to, but we have got some great guests in mind that we're lining up as we speak, and we cannot wait to show this to you, to talk about it, to cut the fat, all that jazz. But Women's Wrestling Month will start next month, and we cannot wait for that to debut. Jesse, I know you popped pretty hard because this has been talked about for a few months now. It's an idea that just kind of came to us, and once we kind of just like got into what we were trying to do with it, it just kind of clicked. So cannot wait to show this to you. Man, I'm excited. I can't wait to get to work on it. But before we get to work on it, we got to wait a week, and waiting a week means that we've got a weekend in front of us, and it is the weekend, which means we need the weekend safety briefing. So Jesse, if you will, the weekend safety briefing.
Yeah, it's very, very important this weekend because both my shows are at bars, and you know what can happen. Somebody might add to this population. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You could subtract from the population. Don't put somebody in the forever box because, you don't get to have a reset on that one. But most importantly, do not be the reason why we have a 6 a.m. safety briefing on Monday.
I will be late for that formation. By God.
If it says 6 a.m., you better be there at 5.
That ain't happening. Those days are long over. But with that being said, this is the crew of Pop Goes the Zebra, wishing all of you on Earth a good evening, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody.